You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 236. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
I'm Jeff Barnhart, a mobile organism devoted only to killing. You didn't know, did you?
I learn new things about you all the time.
Indeed.
Comic Reflections is brought to you by The Outhouse. You can find our show and other nifty content at theouthousers.com. And if you enjoy this program, please subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher. So, this episode, we're going to talk about more Captain America stories from Tales of Suspense. We're deep in the Silver Age, and it's great. Let's start with Tales of Suspense number 91, cover dated July of 1967, with cover art penciled by Gene Colan and inked by Frank Giacoia. And this is an Iron Man cover.
Yeah. And it's got the Crusher, and it's pretty cool.
I feel like we read that story.
We may have.
Yeah, it's been a while, but...
we read the first Crusher. I'm not sure this is it. But
yeah, but I know we read a story with the Crusher, and it was a Gene Colan Iron Man. So, but we'll go through those when we go through the essential Iron Mans. So, but anyway, the story in this issue, the Cap story, is called The Last Defeat, written by Stan Lee, penciled by Gil Kane, and inked by Joe Sinnott.
I just noticed the credits here. Joe Sugar Lips Kane.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I love the splash panel. It's got all these disembodied heads and traitor, because if you remember from last time, Captain America joins forces with the Red Skull in order to save New York City.
Right. And this is great. Gil Kane and Steve Ditko were just wonderful with these floating heads. And this is just really beautiful stuff. I mean, if you say had like a Vince Coletta inking Gil Kane, who's uses a thinner ink line, but Joe Sinnott uses a thick ink line, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's beautiful stuff.
Yeah. Although, aren't people in these comics just about like the Israelites and Exodus? You know, they're always wanting to doubt something, you know.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? And
yeah.
After God does all this stuff, and they're still, I don't know, this other guy's got a cool golden calf. But, but don't they, if I lived in these times and I heard Captain America's a traitor, it says, what's going on? It almost sound like
You'd ask some more questions. I mean, in this world, it's okay. Captain America sure is a great hero. What have you done for me lately?
Right.
That's what it amounts to. And I wish I knew where that expression came from because I love it.
It's from a song, but I'm not sure that's the first place it came from. And I cannot remember who sang the song. But,
okay.
Oh well. We'll never know.
We won't. Yeah, because it's not like there's some all-encompassing database that is at our fingertips so we can look that up.
Yeah, I wish someone would invent a device like that.
Right.
But, oh well.
If only a thing could exist outside the world of dreams.
All right. Man. Actually, I just don't care enough. Cap and Red Skull are in Red Skull's super cool flying machine.
Man, I love how Gil Kane draws the Red Skull. It looks kind of like you would see, it's drawn looks like from animation.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very nice.
Yeah, he's got the cravat.
Cravat?
Yeah, cravat. And I don't know, it looks kind of dapper.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wear a jumpsuit with a cravat. That's my new plan.
And go with your face.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So now, Red Skull has Captain America on his side. So then he tries to kill him by putting him into a automatic cerebral lie detector chair to find out where the super ballistic missile sub is. And why does the Avengers know where America's ballistic submarines are?
It's weird that they would be in on secrets like that.
Yeah, and
I understand
have enough secrets.
Well, it's weird. I would understand the government calling on the Avengers or asking them for stuff, or them being sanctioned by the government and occasionally doing that. The Avengers doing operations for them, through S.H.I.E.L.D. But they're not government operatives, strictly speaking. You would think they wouldn't have the clearance for that.
Or the use. I mean, if they need to guard the submarine, why don't you put Avenger on the submarine?
Right. But if nobody knows where it is or is supposed to know it's of existence anyway, why would you just tell the Avengers? They're somebody that supervillains target,
Yeah.
so they would be the worst persons to tell,
Right.
in a way.
Yeah. I don't know. It's sort of, but Captain America knows about it. So Red Skull, because he is holding New York City as hostage, makes him tell him. And the chair tells Red Skull, oh, this is the truth. So then Red Skull kills, or tries to kill, Captain America. They have this, what is this plastic? It's some kind of specially treated bands, unbreakable plastic. And he's got a laser, he goes out the back of the ship, he's got a laser going to shoot at him. And Captain America is able to move his shield a quarter of an inch, and it directs the beam to the unbreakable plastic, and it breaks the plastic bands, and he escapes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, he's all like he's up in a big flying spaceship thing.
Yeah.
Where the villain has this bubble dome creating technology.
Yeah.
I'm saying is that's the least fantastical part of all this.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Perspective is important.
Yeah. Okay, so Red Skull has this beam that makes people, hypno beam, that makes people follow him. So he tells the Boomer crew to raise up this. Boomers is a ballistic missile submarine. That's what they call it.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found that from Tom Clancy.
Okay.
That's the only reason I know it. And they go up and surface. Captain America goes on the submarine, and he is considered a traitor because everyone knows he's a traitor now.
Right.
So they fight him, and he has to beat up a bunch of sailors, and he does. So he
does. Okay.
Not a bad fight. It's kind of interesting him fighting regular people, and they're not muscle-bound oafs like they usually fight.
Sure.
And he doesn't really want to hurt them because they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Right. I mean, these are U.S. servicemen.
Mm-hmm.
So, but very nice. I mean, Gil Kane does action excellently,
Mm-hmm.
and great fight choreography. So
Not bad, yeah. Okay, so Red Skull takes over the ship. He sends the crew up into a space. Oh, whatever the plane is, I don't know what it is. He never says what it's. Some kind of it's craft. That's a
it's some kind of aircraft, but it's very science fiction-y.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I would give it a name, Judy or something. I don't know.
To the Red Skull copter.
Yeah. For some reason, they're going to blow up. The submarine is a prototype, and they're going to blow it up. Why blow up a prototype? It's just, why don't you take it in and cannibalize it, put it in the next sub? You blow up old pieces of junk.
You don't blow up things you just built.
Right.
That's kind of a waste of resources.
Yeah. But, unfortunately, Red Skull is on deck, and he's racing to find the bomb and defuse it, and it blows up.
We didn't establish there was a bomb.
It was kind of came. No, we did not. So
Okay.
neither did they really until the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Captain America disguises himself as a sailor,
Right.
and Red Skull thinks he's dead because his laser beam supposed to have killed him in the chair earlier on.
Yeah.
Oh, so he disguises himself as a sailor. He puts on a sailor cap but leaves his cowl on. So, man, that's kind of obvious.
Yeah, it's kind of like you ever see like those issues of Batman where Batman he's in his Batman costume, and he puts on a hat and trench coat over it.
Yeah.
It looks so weird.
Yeah, and ineffectual, but apparently it works.
I swear there's issues of Satellite era Justice League where Batman has a space helmet that has spots for the bat ears.
Oh my
On
god.
his cowl.
I think so. Man, that's cool. So, Red Skull's killed for the fourth and last time, right?
Yeah, we never see him again.
Yeah.
But on to the next issue. It's Tales from Suspense, number 92. Cover dated August of 1967. Cover art penciled by Jack Kirby and inked by Frank Giacoia. And wow, what a cover.
Yep. Before my eyes, Nick Fury died. They could have rhymed that, but they didn't. So,
I think it's pretty close to rhyming.
Yeah, but not quite. But, oh, man, I love that Mecho robot, or Mecho assassin. It's
Yeah.
cool.
You've given away the title of the story. Before
Whoops.
My Eyes, Nick Fury died.
Yeah.
Written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, and inked by Joe Sinnott. And this is gorgeous stuff.
Mhm. Yes, indeed.
Wait till we get to the Sinnott inked Fantastic Four issues. Those are just wonderful.
Oh, cool. All right, we see Steve. I almost said Steve Allen.
The radio star.
Yeah, Steve Rogers. In Mufti. So he's dressed in civilian. And it's kind of weird seeing it's always weird seeing superheroes in civilian clothes. Especially, you rarely see Captain America out of his uniform.
Yeah. Especially like a hero has such grandiosity to him, as Captain America. It's weird to think that he has a secret ID, you know?
Yeah, and it's totally useless. So.
Yeah.
Handsome as a screen star, alert as a tiger, straight as a ramrod, tall, lean, muscular, Steve Rogers checks in at Kennedy Airport. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I don't know, a little bit of hyperbole there, but I guess it's true. So,
Yeah.
He's reading the paper, and it's actually he's Skyping, or the 1967 version of Skyping, Avengers headquarters, and they say, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm fine." And nobody believes him except for Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules, and who's around? We've got looks like Goliath, Scarlet Witch. Is Quicksilver there too?
Yeah, it looks that way. And
and Hawkeye.
I love Hercules.
Oh, I do too. He's so much fun.
Mortals, bah! Can ye not accept what is said without seeking hidden meanings? Indeed. You should talk to a lot of English departments, I think.
Right. I love Hercules because he's like, I like Thor, but he's like the other side of the Thor coin because Hercules really likes to have fun.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He likes chasing women and getting wasted.
Yeah.
Like
loads of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thor is better as fighting and all that. You'd want him when something really bad happens, but you want to hang out with Hercules.
Yeah.
You don't want to make him mad, though.
I think physically they're equals to each other, but then Thor has more magic, more powers because of the hammer and stuff.
Right.
But Thor, despite being, made to live like on Midgard and be taught humility and stuff, he's more of a button-up, straight. He's pretty straight.
Yeah.
As far as a Viking superhero goes.
Yeah.
But of course Hercules is. Boy, he's a Greco, right?
Yeah. I do love his companions, and what's that big fat guy?
Volstagg the Voluminous.
Yeah,
I love the Warriors 3. They're great.
Yeah, they're great, and they're kind of Herculean type.
Definitely.
I mean, they're more fun, and Thor is kind of. I don't know. I like him, but
Håkon the Grim doesn't have much personality. He's like he
works against the others really
right
well.
Because Fandral is like. He's the guy who's chasing the women. Fandral and Volstagg, they kind of like they're each of them, put them together, you get Hercules.
Right.
So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. All right. Man, well, we go to AIM in a submarine, and we know it's an AIM submarine because it's stenciled AIM. And it is cool.
Aren't you glad that evil supervillainous organizations just make sure that their branding is really good?
Indeed. Yeah. To put something on why would you want to label anything as a submarine? That's what oh well.
It's for the benefit of the reader.
Yeah.
Is the real answer, but it's funny. So, is Agent 13 a captive of AIM?
She is a traitor to S.H.I.E.L.D., or is she?
Oh, right.
So, all right, here's the main plot and how ridiculous it is. Nick Fury is going to get a haircut. So he tells everybody where and when he's going to get a haircut. Well, I'll tell my wife when I'm going to get a haircut. Sometimes,
right.
For crying out loud. But, so AIM knows where he's going to get a haircut at, so he'll be vulnerable, so they'll kill him. Which would make me suspicious if I was AIM. So, couldn't he think of something else, like he's going to...
Here's the thing, but that presents a great opportunity to flush AIM out into the open. If they know they want to kill Nick Fury and they know where he's going to be at a certain time, they'll send agents, and S.H.I.E.L.D. can plan for like, have have guys
No,
around.
the point is, it would, to me, if I was AIM, I says, oh, this sounds mighty suspicious. We know when he's getting a haircut.
Right.
I mean, if he's going on and get a colonoscopy or something, that's a more a definite thing. But
I'm not really looking forward to reading that comic book.
oh yeah, welcome to middle age. But Nick Fury does not seem to me to be a guy who gets a haircut appointment. Nick Fury type people, they go into a haircut a barber shop,
Here's
and
the
get a
thing:
haircut.
if you were 11, would you buy this plot?
Ooh.
Yes.
Well, then, but then I'm not 11, and I like to complain about.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. I was kind of smart as a 11-year-old.
I love talking about plot holes, so please don't take it that way.
Right. Okay.
I'm just counterpointing.
Right. Would 11? Someone would. But oh well.
Yeah.
They had to figure out a way to get Nick Fury at a certain place, certain time, and use barbershop. I thought they could use their brains and thought of something better. But oh well. So Agent 13 is an apparent traitor, but is she? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
The thing about these plot holes, this is the drawback of the Marvel method of Stan Lee giving us a synopsis with certain plot points.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the artist go nuts, and I'll dialogue it later.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a lot of DC stuff, maybe it doesn't make sense, but they're really tightly plotted,
Right.
with lots of details, and it's all mapped out.
Mm-hmm.
So these have big plot holes, and DC plots, they're just like, oh, less so, but then it's just crazy stuff.
Right. They patch up the plot holes with insanity.
Yeah.
So, okay. So Steve gets in the cab, and with, I don't know, the comic book coincidence, he gets to the barbershop just when Nick Fury is being attacked by a mecha assassin, and he is awesome.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, cool gun, cool expression on his face, and just looks cool.
So this guy's a robot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Is he
yeah,
a robot
I
or a
guess.
guy in a suit? I wasn't clear.
Oh, he's
on
not a guy in a suit.
that. Okay.
Because he's huge, for one thing.
Well, the suit could be
well,
big. He could be
yeah.
wearing elevator shoes,
Yeah. No, he's not that big, actually, but he looks... Okay.
He looks
I don't
bulky.
know. But he
Anyway.
is... I think he is unliving. So he goes and shoots Nick Fury with his super cool gun. And Steve Rogers sees this, and he goes to help, and he sees that Nick Fury's dead, so he gets mad and starts fighting the mecha assassin, and it's got some really cool Kirby fights here.
Oh, yeah.
And, Captain America is having trouble. And I like it when Captain America has trouble fighting somebody, because usually he can beat somebody up really easy, but not here.
So, the Nick Fury that he saw die was just a life model decoy.
All right.
And the real Nick Fury shows up.
I kind of knew that when I saw the cover. So
Yeah. Oh, you didn't think he was really going to die, did you?
No. And Agent 13, who is Captain America's girlfriend, is on the submarine. So Nick Fury says, well, we need to send somebody down there. I don't know who they're going to find, but...
Right.
What?
An interesting subplot
to
have running through these stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but anyway, they're going to send Cap on that mission.
Right. Oh, he volunteers.
Yeah. Surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, the next issue is Tales of Suspense number 93, cover dated September of 1967. Cover art penciled by Gene Colan and inked by Frank Giacoia. It's another Iron Man cover, and it's Iron Man against the Titanium Man again.
Yeah, and Half-Face.
Oh yeah, who looks weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that.
He looks Half-Face kind of reminds me of the old Golden Age villain Iron Jaw from Boy Comics.
Oh yeah,
Lev Gleason. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, not to be confused with the Bronze Age sword and sorcery character Iron of the same name from Atlas Comics, which is a.
Okay.
They do have an Iron Jaw like that though. It's very similar to the Golden Age character, but
But I
That's
think
where the similarities.
they had a literal orange jaw. And so
Both. No, both did.
Okay, yeah.
So
All
yeah.
right. Okay. We see Captain America in this cool um, single-person submarine, some of that, or
Yeah.
it's like a. I can't describe it.
Yeah.
Just use your imagination.
Yes. But this story is called "In the Jaws of AIM," written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, and inked by Joe Sinnott.
Yeah, it's
Great splash panel. Look at all those Kirby dots.
Indeed. Yeah. Oh man.
You know how he does those, right?
No, I have no idea.
It's just a marker.
Is it?
Yeah, it's making dots with a marker.
Wow. Okay, that is cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Very effective.
Mm-hmm. So Captain America goes after the AIM submarine, and he gets zapped with let's see.
Some kind of ray gun.
No, it's a cylinder.
Oh, right.
And knocks him out. Nullifying gas. So, which is... he gets knocked out, and then some cool dream sequences, it looks like. And I guess that's the entire point of what it was to get Captain America captured, then he can break out.
Right.
And... because how are you going to get into a submarine with a can opener? You know,
that's a good point. I don't know how I would sneak onto a submarine, especially one that's already submerged.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, if it's unsubmerged, it's only got about 2 or 3 places to get in. You know.
If that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Captain America is magnetically tied up on this. What is this? Magnetic plate.
Sure.
And it cannot move. And Agent 13, she is found out to be... Okay, she's not a double agent. She's a triple agent. She's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent pretending to be a...
traitor to S.H.I.E.L.D.
But she's actually...
to infiltrate AIM.
Yeah, but she's really a nice S.H.I.E.L.D. person. So AIM is angry at him. So the beekeepers...
I love their beekeeper costumes. I really enjoy them.
Mm-hmm. She gets close to Steve, and they let her get close to Steve Rogers, or Captain America, which is a bad plan. You want to keep people apart when you're... in fact, in the Army, you separate. When you captured people in the war, you separated the officers from the NCOs from the enlisted ones. You just did that.
Yeah. NCO, what is that?
Non-commissioned officer. Sorry.
Oh, right.
So she gets close to him, and she is wearing special anti-polar coveralls, which defeat the magnetic plate.
Of course.
Yeah, and she's not wearing anything underneath them.
Okay.
No, I don't. She doesn't look good in her coveralls. So.
Yeah.
All right, so Captain America gets free and he starts kicking butt, and it's a pretty cool fight. And fight.
in the Kirby way.
Right. And this is another cool thing to know. They took a shield, aimed at, and they're trying to destroy it, see what they can do, but they cannot destroy it. But they use a titanium blade on saw, did not work. Hydraulic pressure drill is equally powerless against it. So
it's indestructible.
Yeah. This one guy is looking at it through this scientific goggles and looks super cool. And in the background, Captain America is knocking out people. So this is an awesome little thing. Agent 13 shoots some people. That's kind of cool. No, she shoots the computer banks, and it creates a bunch of Kirby dots.
Yay!
And it looks really nice. But she's helping him. So I like it when the damsel in distress does good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not totally working.
She's really not a damsel in distress. And who else could be Captain America's girlfriend but somebody who isn't a shrinking violet, who isn't helpless and just waiting to be rescued?
Right.
He's going to rescue her, but she can hold her own.
Yeah. I mean, he had trouble. She saved him.
Yeah.
She was captured. All right, so they meet MODOK. He's in television screen.
Yeah, we don't really see MODOK.
And they get shot in the back. They get captured again.
Yeah. And the beekeepers are actually very, very afraid of MODOK, even though he's their guy.
Right.
That's important.
Very important. So they disappear, or some kind of dimensional gate, but I think it just goes to a different part of the submarine.
Weird.
Yeah. So I was kind of confused about that, but all right, they're about to shoot Captain America, and it's the end of the issue.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty cool, though.
Yeah. So the next issue, Tales of Suspense number 94, cover dated October of 1967, cover art, penciled by Jack Kirby, and inked by Joe Sinnott. Now let's look at this cover again. Really great imagery of Cap fighting the beekeepers, and a very small, down in the left-hand corner, we see MODOK. This will be the first time we'd see him. This is done in such a way that you could miss MODOK.
Yeah, in fact, I did.
Yeah, so that when we do see him for the first time, it's dramatic, and it's great. So the story in this issue is called "If This Be MODOK," and it was written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, and inked by Joe Sinnott.
Okay. All right. So to carry on from the last issue, Captain America is about to be shot by an AIM dude, and he's aiming at him with his gun. And
you had to.
And he stopped. So, MODOK won't like that. So,
why wouldn't MODOK want Captain America dead?
He wants to explain his evil plans.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, so AIM does not. They, as you said, they invented MODOK, but MODOK took over.
Right.
So now AIM wants to kill MODOK.
But they're afraid of him. They don't think they can really do the job.
Right. So, hey, we'll send Captain America.
That's a good plan. So they didn't really want to kill Cap. They just want to, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah. But they want both of their enemies dead.
So I think maybe they'll destroy each other.
Okay. Captain America is sent to MODOK room. I'm not sure where it is. All right, and we see MODOK. He's in a flying chair. He's got this huge head, which is about 2/3 of his body.
His body is like regular person size, and his head is just enormous.
I guess his body is really fat and stout.
Yeah.
So, very ugly dude. So, but, all right, but apparently he's really smart. But he can use his chair really well, and he is more maneuverable than Captain America.
Now, I think Kirby would revisit some of the ideas he used on MODOK with a couple of different characters at DC. In the New Gods, there was the guy who had the Mobius chair.
Yeah.
Do you remember that guy?
Yes.
I'm blanking on the character name. And also, do you remember in Commandy, there was the Misfit? He was that weird bulbous head guy with the small body in that space station or whatever. And there was the disease, that the Mortococcus that was mutated and it would kill anything it touched. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. I think both of those characters, some of those things are borrowing from MODOK, because MODOK's got the floating chair.
Okay.
I can never remember the name of that character. It's not Zodak.
Yeah.
Keep talking, I'll look it up.
Okay. That's fine. Well, Captain America is fighting, and Agent 13 is fighting MODOK. AIM is getting ready to escape in their super cool escape submarine. Oh, man, I love Kirby technology.
Metron is what I was trying to remember.
And it doesn't ring a bell, but I think, that's probably right. I'm sure it is right.
I'll bring up the Google image. You'll be like, oh, yeah. Go ahead.
So AIM is said, we're not sure if Captain America is going to defeat MODOK, so let's go make sure. Oh, yeah, I remember Metron. Okay. Okay. So they're fighting, and AIM comes by and starts and blasts MODOK.
Yeah.
In the back. So, and Captain America blasts the AIM guys because, I don't know, he wants to do his own beating up, I think.
Okay.
So MODOK is laying there about dead, so he he hits the destructo switch, and Cap and Agent 13 and some of the AIM guys, they escape, and the submarine blows up. But pretty cool. Yeah. Um, I just love the technology and the way Kirby does it. I cannot say that enough.
Well, it's hard to overstate it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
I
wonderful.
think it's comic book art at its best.
I would agree. I mean, because a comic book with, say, a mediocre script and plot can be amazing if Kirby's drawing it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes we get amazing Kirby art and a great story. And when you have that, it's gold, Jerry.
Yeah. And the way people used to read, we're binging on comic books now.
Right.
But when I was a kid and I bought a comic book, I read it 3 or 4 times just looking at the images, and I was drawn and all that, and just read it and read it and read it over. And,
Yeah, well, you got a whole nother month before the next one comes out.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you ain't got too much scratch in your pocket to buy more, so...
Yeah. Well, it's such a wonderful thing that doesn't exist anymore, because comic books were they were ubiquitous, and they were really cheap.
Right.
And that's a wonderful coalition of factors.
Yeah.
Some people with children primarily, or young persons with little disposable income, but here is cheap entertainment right at your fingertips.
Right.
That you can just go to the corner store and get.
Right. And you can, books are cheap too. Although back then books were fairly expensive. Books are cheaper now than they ever been in history. But there's always a public library and all that. But you have this literature and artwork together.
As I was about to say.
And you can visit it again and again, as long as you have it.
Yeah.
In movies, you cannot do that. I guess magazines, perhaps, but there are not that many kids' magazines at the time.
But comic books are this wonderful thing because you're being entertained, but you're participating in it because of the reading.
Mm-hmm.
But you're getting art and literature and getting this wonderful storytelling at the same time. It's hard not to be hooked on comics.
Right. But now you got so much other stuff.
Yeah.
And now comics are... You can buy used video games for the price of a new comic.
Sure.
I bought video games for $5.
Sure.
So.
But conversely, there's a great database that I like to use online, comicbookplus.com, and it's a huge archive of public domain comic books that you can read for free.
Yeah.
And it's
Are they mostly the non-Marvel and...
Well, there are 0 Marvel or DC or EC titles, because all that stuff is...
EC still exists in Mad Magazine.
Well, and because that material, the copyright has been renewed.
Yeah.
This is all stuff that hasn't been. Mm-hmm. But all of the original, Captain Marvel stories, they're all there.
Mm-hmm.
Because although those characters are owned by someone, those stories themselves, the copyrights were not renewed.
Yeah. No, I'm glad someone forgot to do that.
Me too. So, the next issue is Tales of Suspense number 95, cover dated November of 1967, cover art penciled by Gene Colan and inked by Frank Giacoia. And it's another Iron Man cover. We've got great Iron Man against the gray gargoyle.
Mm-hmm.
That should be fun when we get to that one someday.
Yeah, a man beats stone. No D there. All right, the title is A Time to Die, A Time to Live, and A Time to Read Comic Books. I added the last part.
Okay. But yes, the story is called A Time to Die, A Time to Live. Written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, and inked by Joe Sinnott. So what's going on in the splash panel? Splash page.
Captain America is going after some gangsters, which is odd for him. Usually he's fighting either Nazis or super villains.
Right. Well, now it's or instead of Nazis, a lot of secret organizations like AIM and Hydra.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I think we can still call Hydra Nazis, though. I mean, they were started by a Nazi, Baron Strucker.
Yeah. I don't know, but...
Volkswagen
was started by Nazis, or are they a Nazi...
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean,
They don't wear swastikas, so no, I don't. And it's not necessarily that ideology.
right. National Socialist German Workers' Party is what Nazi stands for. And they were anti-Jewish. They want to take over the world. Okay, they have that in common. But it says they wanted everything to be under the government, which I guess is that too. But there's no nationalism. There's not a German.
Right.
So
well, especially because Hydra doesn't have a nation, and neither does AIM.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right.
Yeah, so I'll agree. It's not your usual Captain America story to have him against mobsters, but
yeah, but they're pretty cool. What is it? Gunner Gates, Low Life Supreme. But that's some really cool guns, though.
That's an odd turn of phrase. To say someone is the supreme lowlife.
Yeah, that's my dream.
Yeah.
All right. So Captain America is fighting against them, and he's beating them up. And Gunner Gates has got some cool guns, oddly enough. But then we jump back a few hours beforehand, and Steve Rogers goes out for a date with Agent 13. We still don't know her name.
Well, I do.
No, we do. I mean
it's Sharon Carter.
Yeah, but we don't know in the book.
You're right, and it's weird that they finally get to go on a date, and he's immediately proposing, which is very old-timey.
Yeah.
But people used to do that. Go on a couple dates, and propose.
Because you cannot have sexual intercourse at those times without breaking laws if you're not married. I mean, people did, of course, but a lot of people would not. And a significant proportion of the population. And Steve Rogers would not have illicit sex.
Probably not.
He would have sex in the bounds of marriage. That's fine. But Steve, he's a stand-up guy in the 40s. Even in the 60s, this is happening.
I mean,
still...
I bet he's a secret agent.
Right.
Secret agents have illicit sex.
In the movies, not in real life, but they're on comic books too.
Between the panels, I bet you Captain America has gotten something else.
Does he take off his cowl?
I don't know.
So, I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it is old-fashioned, but also it's kind of like people would, go on a few dates and then propose marriage. Also because it's a pre-internet, pre a lot of the mass media.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, didn't feel like they had that many options. You meet somebody you connect with, you like them, hey, why don't we get married?
Yeah.
It was a simpler time.
Yeah. You're in a small town. There's no telephone or radio. There's nothing to do. There's no place to go. I mean, there's occasionally they have a dance at the church, social.
Sure.
But really, there's no way to date very well.
Right, and I think a lot of people would just kind of not spend a lot of time considering their options and just kind of, relatively speaking, marry the first person that seemed nice, that showed interest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's an interesting demarcation of the early 20th century and later 20th century. So I just wanted to talk about that for a minute, and then we'll go on.
All right. So he proposes, and she says no because he is a secret agent. And she doesn't like anybody else. She can only love Steve Rogers, but she cannot get married because it's too dangerous. And
which is kind of weird. They're both secret agents. It's not like one of them is gonna, be sitting at home not doing anything, just waiting for the next mission to be over, and then get that letter, that phone call.
Right.
Steve is dead or Sharon's dead. They're both secret agents, so it doesn't really wash for me.
Yeah, and she's in duty. It comes before marriage, and I don't know.
I mean, geez.
Yeah.
They're both in the same line of work, basically.
Right.
So this what they're doing in the story would make sense if one of them was a secret agent.
Yeah.
But not both. So.
Yeah. Okay. But so when he meets Gunner Gates, Captain America is really ticked off. So he pounds him good. And then, after he's done, he says, I'm out of here. Okay, so he retires. And everybody's shocked. Man, people, the purpose is always, oh, he's a bad guy. Oh, he's a traitor. Oh, he's retiring. And then it's, I do like the Marvel comics. And this is what I like about Stephen King. They kind of exist in the real world. People do before Stephen King. Vampires happen in lonely castles in Transylvania. Stephen King brought them to
Bangor, Maine.
Yeah, and
Castle Rock.
And I enjoyed having that.
The real world connection.
Yeah, and that's
the
really
relatability.
Yeah.
Well, and I appreciate that the media and the public have a reaction to the things that happen in Captain America's life or in the lives of superheroes. That's a real life element that I really like when I see it in comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's pretty cool. One of them people said feels like an institution, like a police station that's always there. That's kind of nice.
Although her example is kind of weak.
I don't know what else you're going to a bank or a post office or police station. Yeah,
but to describe Captain America as an institution, that's good. I like it.
And police station does what he does, and it protects the people and all that stuff, or at least the people in the police station do, or you hope they do. Anyway, all right, Nick Fury is kind of ticked off, but he doesn't look too worried. I think he knows he'll be back.
Right. Come on, Nick has known Cap for a long time.
Yeah.
And he knows that Cap would just go nuts without action.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. And he sends his... Captain America sends his stuff, and his shield and everything, to Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Oh.
Plus, Cap can't shirk duty. He'll spring into action because he'll be needed.
Yeah.
So.
And Nick tells Agent 13, when we're done with you, we'll let you go. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
All right. So, Steve, go get some clothes. I guess he's with Tony Stark. I guess they're in his house, and he has some tailors come by, and he has some.
Now, their conversation also betrays the fact that Steve doesn't know that Tony's Iron Man,
which is astounding to me.
How so?
Superheroes, should know. They should have a superhero radar because they're on the lookout for supervillains all the time.
Sure.
And they are superheroes pretending to be people. They should notice stuff like other people pretending to be regular people who are actually superheroes. It shouldn't.
But some, you know the expression of hiding in plain sight.
Right.
Okay.
But you're hiding in plain sight to superheroes who are doing the same thing, and I think
Tony Stark's secret ID is pretty good because he plays up Iron Man as his bodyguard and security for Stark Industries.
A bodyguard who's never seen or rarely seen with Tony Stark.
Right. There is that.
Yeah.
But I think they play it up to where he's a bodyguard, but he's really protecting Stark's assets.
Mm-hmm.
But Stark funds the Avengers and allows Iron Man to be the operative there or whatever.
Right.
It's good PR for Stark.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know. I think it's a good distraction to let him just go be a playboy or play up the image of being a playboy.
Yeah. So Steve kind of feels bad about retiring, and then he's sitting back and he's thinking about all the good times he had beating Nazis.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. I love the splash panel.
This is a montage panel.
Oh, okay. I guess it is. So,
yeah.
Right.
It is a splash page, but it's done in a montage style. Yeah. So I don't know.
And it has Kirby dots, so everything's cool.
Yeah.
All right. But that's about it. It's not much to it. Beats up some gangsters, goes on a date, retires.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
Until the next issue.
Yes, and let me get going on that. The next issue is Tales of Suspense number 96, cover dated December of 1967, with cover art by Jack Kirby, pencils, and Frank Giacoia on inks. And the story in this issue is called To Be Reborn, written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, and inked by Joe Sinnott.
Mm-hmm.
Great splash panel with several guys in a police lineup in Captain America costumes, clearly not Cap.
Really one kind of fat, pudgy, ugly one.
Yeah.
Cool cover.
With Captain America falling from the skies. He's doing that a lot.
Yeah,
it happens.
You're right, he does. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Oh well. But it's a police lineup with the fake caps and Captain America. No, Steve Rogers. He's retired, I guess. He's kind of shocked that people are doing this, but people are pretending to be him to.
Because there needs to be a Captain America.
Right. Hmm. And they don't know. He doesn't know what to do about it, so he's kind of embarrassed by it all. Alright, so he's worried about more people doing that. So then we see this guy called the Sniper, and he shoots a gun, a pistol, into a keyhole of a house and the bullet blows out the back of the house, which is kind of cool.
It's quite a gun.
Yeah.
Such a narrow pinpoint of where it would hit. Shoots it through a keyhole, and then the destructive power of the gun is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So.
And he's using a pistol, which is harder to shoot with than a rifle.
Right, as far as accuracy.
Exactly. So here comes. Oh, look, Captain America's in trouble. But no, it's a fake Captain America, and some guys are beating the crap out of him.
Right. His costume is pretty convincing, and this guy is in pretty good physical shape.
Yeah.
So
he's fighting pretty well.
Yeah.
And let's see, is someone shooting at him, but he gets shot in the arm. He goes off into the ledge. Steve Rogers, who's luckily nearby, comes and saves him, and they fall again. Okay. And the Sniper sees him, and he shoots him. They're connected to what? An aerial wire. And the Sniper shoots the wire, so they fall again. And some more fighting. So the bad guys think it's the real Captain America, he's in there for a judo company who's trying to make publicity.
Yeah.
But Steve beats the crap out of the guys who think it's Captain America. And here comes Nick Fury. And Steve Rogers says, "Oh, I guess I'll become Captain America again."
Yeah.
It's kind of. I think they should have had a couple more issues of this or something like this. I don't know.
It'd be nice if this wasn't in like a split book that he's sharing with Iron Man, so he had more than 10 or 11 pages to play with. Because the way we're serializing this story arc, this feels a little thin. Like if there was a full 22 pages, we could really explore this and also kind of get on with it.
Yeah, did he have time to go to the bathroom while he's on retirement? It just seems like it happened so fast. And
right.
I mean, it's like Sinatra retired or something like that. It's really Sinatra retired about 8 times.
Sure. I get what you're saying with that, but
maybe our audience doesn't. It's too quick, and they could have had more adventures like that or something, But oh well.
It's okay to have like this as a one-off, as an example of the kinds of things that happen to Captain America. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But on to the next issue, which is Tales of Suspense, number 97, cover dated January 1968. Cover art penciled by Gene Colan and inked by Frank Giacoia. And let's look at that cover again. It's another Iron Man cover, and this is the introduction of Whiplash.
Which we see in Iron Man 2.
Yes, although that Whiplash kind of was an amalgam of this character and I think the character of the guy who became either the Titanium Man or the Crimson Dynamo.
Mm-hmm.
Vanko. I don't remember which one is which. But anyway, but the Cap story is called And So It Begins, written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, and inked by Joe Sinnott. And this is great. Great splash panel with Cap in action, dodging explosions or something.
Mm-hmm. He's fighting the Mauler.
Right.
And it's pretty good. Mauler almost beats him up.
Yes.
But Captain, I don't know if he's faking being knocked out. It looks knocked out. But he knocks out the Mauler. And,
so he's playing possum.
Yeah. And he shoves one guy into a chimney. I always love that. And the Mauler is knocked down, but he comes back up. And so Captain America punches him in the stomach. And he topples over. It's pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
All right. Then we go to halfway around the globe. Where is the Black Panther? And this is Black Panther's first appearance?
No. Black Panther first appeared in an issue of the Fantastic Four, but this is his first time meeting Captain America.
Okay, so it's introducing Black Panther.
It said reintroducing. Look at the splash page.
Okay, all right. Yep, you're right. Okay.
I tend to be.
Yes, you are. Okay. So somebody's attacking Black Panther's people, and Black Panther
In
gets
Wakanda.
Yeah, I can never remember that name.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, thank you. And some bad guys who are minions of somebody powerful, it looks like, because they got cool ray guns and they got cool outfits, and they shoot Black Panther, and they get away, I think.
Back in America, Cap.
Yeah, he's looking at the people in the syndicate. That's who he was fighting.
Right.
And which I didn't know beforehand. So he goes home, and then he gets let's see.
He goes and lays down in the Avengers Mansion to take a nap.
And then he grabs a gun. Yeah.
That's not Cap's glove. Getting that gun.
It's not?
No. Look at the markings on that glove. That's not Cap's glove.
Oh, you're right. It's
Agent 13.
Yeah, she's turning into Irma Cruel. You're right. Irma Cruel is the world's deadliest female spy.
Now, this is a disguise she's putting on. She's pretending to be Irma.
Yeah. Irma is actually in her closet, tied up.
Wow.
And doesn't look too happy about it either. Alright, but she's on a mission. Then Captain America sees this, I guess, spaceship or something on his building, on the roof of the building. And he goes in, and Black Panther tells him, "Hey, you need to come here and help me." And so that's what Black Panther does. Oh no, that's what Captain America does. He comes to Africa. And,
yeah.
It's a cool spaceship.
Yeah. So exciting lead into the next issue, which will be the last Cap story we'll talk about today. It's Tales of Suspense number 98, cover dated February of 1968. Cover art penciled by Jack Kirby and inked by Frank Giacoya, and a cool cover with Cap and the Panther fighting. Which is,
Yeah.
Didn't the Panther call Cap to help him?
Right. So what's going on?
Yeah. So in the story is called The Claws of the Panther, written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, and inked by Joe Sinnott. So what's going on here? Look at this splash panel. Again, we get that great aircraft that he's flying to Wakanda.
Yeah.
Now the Panther sent it, and it will just take him automatically there, because Wakanda is hidden.
Right.
People don't really know the location.
Right. Well, somebody does, because there's a blistering ray from outer space that almost hits Cap.
Weird.
So he lands, but why does Captain America see some guys from Black Panther, and he starts beating them up? It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I can't be sure of their intentions. I'm through setting myself as a phone. Well, he's attacked when he's coming in, so he thinks that Black Panther is after him.
Right. So it's all a misunderstanding. But this is the Marvel Comics way. Two superheroes meet for the first time, they gotta fight. Because there has to be some confusion.
And there's got to be a reason for the cool cover.
Right.
So, and they fight. It's a pretty good fight. And Black Panther says, I had to make sure you were not an imposter.
Okay. Well, that's a one way to find out.
Yeah, and he says, and I didn't fire at your ship, so everything's cool. So they're talking about, some people are after Wakanda. They don't know why, who's behind it.
Now, we see some bad guys, but we see their leader, their boss, who is pointing at them from off panel. We don't see who it is.
Yeah. He's not a very friendly guy.
No.
And he's ticked off that Black Panther beat them up. And they could be anybody. A bunch of ugly dudes. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a satellite that's shot at Captain America. Black Panther has a lab, and they're looking at the satellite, and they're trying to figure out what to do. So they're wondering, now who can afford a satellite? You know, actually, we could probably put our money together and buy a satellite today. You and I. Back then, you had to be a massive. I mean, I don't think France or India could afford a satellite. They're just super expensive.
But if you got a lot of, say, Nazi gold or something, I guess you can afford a satellite.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Right. All right, so we don't know who. So I was thinking it was going to be Peace Pot Pete.
No.
I thought that'd be hilarious.
That would be crazy.
I was thinking it was going to be Dr. Doom.
Were you?
Yeah.
See, Doctor, they wouldn't have been they wouldn't have teased the who is it. Dr. Doom just shows himself. It's like, Doom, you know.
I thought they'd make a surprise, but I didn't think about who it is. And when I'm writing my notes, I write them as I read them the first
Oh,
time.
that's excellent.
So I put in my impressions and I try to guess, and sometimes I totally bombed on this one.
Oh, good. Then it achieved the desired effect then.
Yes, it did.
And they didn't advertise it on the cover.
I like that. I don't like surprises on the cover.
Because it's not a surprise.
Right. I don't like surprises in the previews either.
Well, now see, remember the first time, one of the earlier Red Skull stories we read in this book, the first time was like, oh, he was a return, but the surprise was ruined because he was on the cover.
Right.
Then when he showed up again, they didn't do that.
Right.
And it was a really nice dramatic reveal.
Yeah.
And
I know, you got to get people to read the cover, but it messes it up, and the best part of the story is foretold.
Yeah, but the dramatic return of a major supervillain who you thought was dead, it's best for it to be a surprise. Have it be the surprise reveal in the last page, and then put him on the cover of the next issue.
Right.
So, which is probably what they'll do.
Yeah.
I don't recall. So.
Oh, okay. Black Panther and Captain America go out in the jungle, and Black Panther can smell man, which is cool. And they see the bad guys, and they fight them, and they finally figure out they're mercenaries. But
But who hired them?
Yeah. And Black Panther is zapped with Kirby dots. Oh, man. And so is Captain America. He's zapped with Kirby dots, too. They're knocked out, and they wake up, and... Oh, no.
Agent 13 is also there in Wakanda now.
No, Agent 13 is in another place, and she's meeting as disguised as Irma Cool.
Yeah.
And she beats up some minions, and they think, oh, it must be Irma Cruel then, because who else can beat up people like that? So
it's comics. Apparently, everyone is the real answer.
Yeah, indeed. All right, then we go back to Black Panther and Captain America, and they wake up, but they've been knocked out. The bad guys thought they were playing possum, so they left. If it was me, if I thought I would throw a grenade, and that'd be the end of it,
Right.
But I'm not cut out for this super villain stuff. So.
I'm glad you finally realized that, Jeff.
Yeah. All right. So, Captain America and Black Panther fall into a it's a tiger pit, but it's a lion pit, which is, man, that's kind of stupid of Black Panther. Shouldn't he? This is kind of common in the jungle.
Yeah. And he's the guy who's supposed to have these heightened senses. He should, not fall into a trap. But he does.
Yeah. And look, who is standing above him laughing at Captain America and Black Panther? It's Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Man, I can't wait to read the next batch because these are going to be great.
Yeah, they will be.
Okay. Comic Reflections is recorded in Portland, Oregon, and produced by Sean Roof.
And we'll see you in the funny pages.